Yes, you can not go to university and do certain things, but there's a way you carry yourself. There's a way you speak. I've had this conversation where it's like, oh yeah, we're going our separate ways. No, we're still TXM till die. I looked left, we're looking at her like, £5 to dance? Are you crazy?
What's up, everybody? It's me, Miss T Moyo, on the That's the Tea show, and welcome back to another episode. This is my last episode right before the Christmas special and the mid-season finale, and hasn't it been a blast? I mean, so far, we've had Will 2K, Hans, Prateis, Kaitan, Shannon, the Johns, Mr. Obey, A1, Nana, and Cash, Richie Sauce, Johnny, and my next guest just adds to the roster of stars. He is a Nigerian-born and educator based in the UK who is celebrated for his dynamic and immersive approach to modern African dance. With a foundation in diverse styles such as Azonto, Afrohouse, and Naija Fusion, his unique teaching approach incorporates influences from across the African continent, creating a truly authentic and contemporary African dance experience. We have yet another member of the Home Fam faculty, and he has led workshops across the UK, internationally, connecting with dance communities in Dublin, Cologne, I don't even know where that is, Barcelona, Milan, Bucharest, Vienna, and beyond. This guy's Mr. International. He has collaborated with top artists like Tiwa Savage, J5, and Dave, and worked with major brands including Nike, Redbull, and Champion. His classes are crafted to inspire, empower, and cultivate a genuine love for Afro dance. Can we please give a warm welcome and a round of applause to Dlonze? How did you like the bio, man?
It was so nice hearing it because it was just like
when you was typing it.
So it was nice, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
The fit is kind of hard. I can see the green with the tie and the...
Thank you. It's not everyday tracksuits, So I said... but yeah, it's not everyday just dance clothes. So I said, let's switch it up. Wear what I'd wear on a day-to-day basis if I'm going to events and shows and things like that.
Because today is an event.
Exactly.
I mean, next week is the Christmas special. Then you got my New Year's special. You're like the last person before all them specials. Like, you are special.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. What made you say yes to being on the podcast? Honestly.
Honestly? We're friends.
Okay.
So instantly I was already like, oh, this will be a lovely opportunity. And I feel like it's going to be something that's going to be dope in the near future. So I said, why not, support my friend and be part of her show.
Now, we're actually so happy to have you here. And one of my producers, she asked a very valid question, which I think we all want to know. The name Dlonze, where does it come from? And what's your actual name as well?
Mitchell.
Okay.
My name is Mitchell.
Hi, Mitchell. I don't think I can call you Mitchell. I don't think I've ever called you Mitchell.
It doesn't sound...
It doesn't sound
I feel like I only give that one to my mum, maybe my other family members and stuff. But more time it's Mitch.
Okay.
Yeah, like Mitchell is just like, Michelle, come on. It's like, I don't, But the Dlonze actually stemmed from like secondary, primary school, I think. We had like a brand thing where we were very young, obviously, but we had to create a poster to be like, okay, cool, what would you call your perfume? So at the time, I had only just learned what cologne meant. Okay. So I was like, Dlonze cologne, because C was, okay, cool. Yeah. So it was Dlonze cologne, and then obviously I completely forgot it, but I remember I really liked the design. So when I was like creating Instagram, at first it was like the name's Mitch this, Mitch _ LDN, LDN Mitch. Like it was just Mitch. And I was like, you know what? I need something, something different. So I put Dlonze, and then I was like, this looks ugly. So we experimented a little bit. I was like, what gives pizzazz? And usually when you throw in a Z in there somewhere, it gives something like that. Yeah. So I put Dlonze, E. I was like, oh, this looks nice, and it looks like it's a name. I'm just gonna run with this, and whatever happens, happens. I didn't know how to pronounce it for a while.
Oh,
Yeah, it just looked nice.
Okay.
I didn't know how it would sound because I was gonna be like, no, I'm not even gonna try again. But then someone called me Dlonze, and I was like, oh, that's how people.
That's how you pronounce
yeah.
it. Oh,
Like,
okay.
yeah, Dlonze. I was like, oh, yeah. So some people ask, do you go Dlonze, Dlonze? I'm like, hey, anything is okay. Because even me, Seth, I didn't know in the beginning. So
No, I like it. So from perfume to performer. I like, you see, perfume to performer. That's what the movie's gonna. I like that.
perfume
I like
to
that.
performer. Wow. Oh,
I'll send you my invoice.
so no more.
Cool. Born and raised in Nigeria, grew up
Yeah.
in the UK. How old were you when you moved to the UK?
7.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 7. Oh, wow, that's time ago. Yeah, 7.
Wait, how time ago?
Well, I'm 25 now.
Oh, thank you. I was
So,
gonna. Get
no, don't
around
worry.
there.
There's no point. Yeah,
Then you just straight to the point.
Yeah, I'm 25 now, so I'm not gonna try and do the maths properly. But let's say about like 18 years or something like
Okay.
that. So
So Nigeria has a very big dance and cultural aspect to it. How would you say that being born and raised in Nigeria, moving to the UK at 7, has played a part in your dance career?
it didn't do anything until like 2016. To be fair, like I wasn't in tune with like my African side as much. Like as soon as I moved here, because most of my life was based around church and school. Yeah, church and school. That's literally church and school.
That's it.
And home, obviously, but like church and school. And then even at home, my mom didn't want to teach me the native language. Nor did we go to like African events or things like that. So I wasn't in tune with like things that were Nige based, not until like 2016. But even then, I was still small something. Like certain things were like nostalgic. They're like, oh, I remember Milo. Oh yeah, I know Pick Me. Yeah, but it was like I remember from when I was
From
you know what
time.
I'm trying to say? So
Interesting.
I wasn't actually connected to it as much. It wasn't until being around more Africans and just how, I guess, proud they were about being African and just expressing that within their dance styles. Like, I want to learn more and then I want to, learn more about my culture as well so I can be able to, I guess, share what is being taught around.
That is amazing to think that's kind of been a full circle moment. You were born and raised there, you left, but then somehow your dance career has led you back to the beginning. It's giving a full circle moment. So what were some of your earliest memories of when you found the UK and you considered it, okay, now I'm a UK citizen, this is home, this is where I'm at?
I would say around when I was... To be fair, I feel like from the beginning.
From get-go?
Yeah, from the get-go, I was like, I need to learn how to speak like everyone here. Okay, so fun fact, when I actually came to the UK, I lived in Manchester first.
Manchester?
Yeah,
Mane.
I was in Mane.
Mane.
And everyone spoke, everyone was speaking very differently compared to what I've seen on TV and what I've heard before. So, yeah, it was so different. And I was like, in order for me to fit in, I need to speak like them.
Okay.
So I was like, I had like my little fresh accent. I was like, Mom, I'm going to be speaking like them soon. Just give me about 2-3 weeks. And then she was just laughing. Next thing, in about a week or so, I was mixing it wasn't cute. I'll tell you that for free. I was mixing like my African accent with like I don't want to. And it was something. But at that time, I was like, I'm speaking like them, I'm blending in, trying to fit it. It was like, welcome to the UK for me. That was like the moment I'd say. So I'd say maybe you can say 2008.
Yeah, from the start, from the get-go, your transition was relatively easy?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good.
Straight in there. Oh. But that was mainly because my mum had already been here.
Okay.
So it was not like we came in and deep end. It was like she's kind of prepped everything, got everything ready for me to...
take the bus. TFL.
Yeah, I'm trying to say.
I hear it. Oh, so who did you grow up with? So you've got your mum. Who else did you grow up with?
Mum.
Just mumsy?
Just mumsy.
Any siblings?
I have a little brother now.
Oh, yeah.
But growing up, like, it's just been mum. Little brother was from when I was 12. So it wasn't like I already had 12 years of life. And then I'm now then having to kind of raise him more or less.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's literally been it. Just mum.
So obviously, growing up in like a single parent household, how has your mum's upbringing of you inspired you to be the person you are today?
So I'd say that she showed me both the harsh the harsh lifestyle growing up, and also the sweet lifestyle, like just being a mum. So she's been the dad and also being the mum for me. So I feel like it's had an impact in my whole just way of treating other people and way of just understanding what's right and what's wrong. I wouldn't say she was the strictest, but regardless what the case is, growing up, the things that are just you're getting told off for automatically, it's like, oh my god, my mom was too harsh on me, kind of thing. But
when you look back, you're actually like, maybe I was the problem. Maybe I was in the wrong.
you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like I did something right and she'll still get onto me. It was like every time I did something that I also know was wrong, that's when obviously I got in trouble. But I feel like she definitely brought me up in a very, I'd say, Christian household. So everything was more or less easier because I was in church 2/4. There was no like any any me just running around
Just running amok in the
it
streets.
was literally just straight from church, like I told you, straight from church, home, school, that type of thing. So I feel like I was never really outside.
Yeah.
I was always just
He was a good boy.
brought up in there.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that people that didn't go to church are bad.
No, we're not saying that, but I hear
yeah.
it. I'm always curious to know people who like were born and migrated to the UK. Like, what does your immediate and wider family think of Dlonze and everything that he does and has accomplished?
Just fun fact, my uncle only now accepts what he's now, like, you know Dlonze? He will pull out his phone and show all my videos. Yeah. Back in the day, he was not here for it at all.
Why?
At all. Because obviously being, is it second generation? Yeah. It's like my mom's done a lot of hard work to make sure that I'm able to be here and have a good lifestyle. So it's now my job to carry on that sort of situation. So it's like, and should even more or less do better than her in certain aspects. Like I should get an even better job than she did, or something along the lines of what she already works as. And then it's just been, I'd say certain family members are okay with it, more like my cousins.
Okay, the youngsters.
Yeah,
the
the
cool
ones that
right?
understand, you know what I'm trying to say. But uncles, you have to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, accountant.
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's the only ones they're okay with.
Yeah.
But
Dancer,
like
a creative.
Yeah,
an artist.
Music.
What?
Yeah, literally. So yeah,
funny.
it's not really been. It wasn't an easy journey, but it's now that I guess I have some sort of name for myself on social media that they see, and as soon as money comes in,
that's when money talks.
yeah, it's like it's okay. He's doing okay. He's
doing
like,
right.
he just came from this country now. He's never at home. But it's like an insult in a sense of he's never at home, but I'm proud of him.
It's
you get what I'm trying to say? It's not like, he's doing so well.
He could be doing something, but he's decided to do. That's nice.
Exactly.
I'm just like, thank you. I think.
Well, obviously, growing up, you already know that that's them trying to be
standard.
nice.
Yeah.
Type of thing. But yeah, I'm used to it. And obviously, other family members now, they're now then speaking for me sometimes in certain events. Because usually when you're younger, they'll be like, come and dance for me. Just do the dance in the second.
Show them the one you did in the kitchen. Yeah.
But now it's like, no, we have to pay for this one. We cannot be seen. This one we can't see for free. I'll be opening your wallet. That kind of feel.
I love that. Family accountants. We love that.
Yeah.
So they kind of came around at the end at some point. They're like,
I still have one more that's still a bit. they're like, you have to you can be doing this and also be doing that. So, but no, we're all good for now.
Oh, do you know what's mad? I went to a family barbecue in summer and my uncle's like, oh, what are you doing now? And I said, oh, I'm a content producer and I'm a presenter. And then he's like, oh, so like, when are you going to get a real job? I was like, let's wrap this up.
That is
let's,
so...
let's and like, you know, there was another uncle, same barbecue. And he pulls me to the side and like, he's kind of it's weird because the term, he's saying it in an endearing way. So his arm wrapped around me and they're like, Mama, like, you know, you're too intelligent to be doing all this social. And he's like, you're too smart. And what pushed me over the edge? He tapped my head. He was like, you're too smart up here. I was like, cut the cameras. Let's wrap this up exponentially because I'm not about to sit here and convince you what I do is real and I'm passionate about it.
Yeah,
but that'll do it.
Sometimes I feel like it's a setup, you know. I genuinely feel like family members, they have this conversation before and they're like, Shibi, you're going to be at that, but don't worry, I'll bring my son,
my wisdom,
so you can tell him what's right and what's wrong because he's not listening to me at home. I'm telling him to go and do the. So they now then come as the, how are you doing? How have you been? You know, this is what I think.
And you're giving me all this unsolicited advice, and I'm just like,
you don't even know what happens in my life.
Do you even know when my birthday is? I always ask them, when's my birthday? And then that really closes up the conversation. But I do want to go back and talk about like your growing up, especially with your church life and what it was like. Cool. So you're actually a pastor's kid.
Yes.
PK. Yes. I like that. What was that like growing up?
It was good. I would say it was a easier lifestyle, probably for some of us because I was born into the church, so it's like it was easier for me to kind of be connected with God, or that's what some people believe.
Okay.
But really and truly, that's not the case because you're kind of yes, you're being brought up the right way. You're learning all the right things, but in the grand scheme of things, because you're not exposed to the worldly things.
Yeah.
When you do now then get exposed to the worldly things, sometimes it's like you're curious.
Okay.
So you now then want to kind of explore a little bit, but then at the same time, whilst you're exploring and trying to understand what happens in the world, you also have to play this role as a whole. Well, not saying you're not holy when you're not, but also play a role where you're like you're.
The expectations are high.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah. So it's like when you're in church, you're having to be like suited and booted, just walk. You know. Just like a
prim and proper,
literally, because you're representing not just yourself but also your parents as well.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's a bit like you don't want anyone to see you in a bad,
compromising situations.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Can I be candid and be like honest and just ask? I want to ask.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, as a teenage boy, you're going to come through things like relationships, girls, alcohol, drinking, sex, partying. How did you navigate that whilst being such a prominent member in church?
Well, this is where the upbringing really played a massive role.
Okay.
I feel like my mom guided me like from early, just allowing me to understand what is right and what's wrong. Before it was more like, okay, cool. Well, not from her, but aunties and uncles are like, if you drink, if you smoke, if you do all these things, you're going to hell. Like that was like the standard, like, so that stayed in my head for time.
Really?
Like it wasn't until like maybe 15, maybe that I was like, okay, cool. I'm starting to actually understand these things and understand that it's not just a sense of you do these things and instantly you're
finished. Yeah.
It was more so understanding your relationship with God and understanding that these things are not good for yourself. So once I started having that understanding for myself, that's when I'd say I was able to navigate, I guess, how I choose my life to be. So with a lot of all the things that you see within the world, it's hard, I'd say, to kind of remove yourself from it. But I say just the way I was brought up from just my home, it just made things easier for me to kind of avoid a lot of those things.
Shout out to Mumsy for bringing
Hey.
up a stand-up guy.
Yeah, weird. I was at home a lot.
Really? You was a homebody?
Yeah, I was at home a lot. So
Really?
I guess I didn't actually get to see
You wasn't
anything.
really
I wasn't
outside.
exposed to anything.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So like I said, literally we're home, school, back to home, church, back to home. Literally, it was like there was nothing.
Were you ever curious about like what the other kids are doing, or maybe you just wanted to run away and run amok?
Curious. Yes. So a lot of my friends, well, not a lot of my friends now, but a lot of my friends back then, they were already going to parties at such a young age. But back then it was called shubs. So, what you knew?
Yeah, no, in Zim, that's what they call them.
Oh,
Shubs,
yeah. Oh, okay.
I'm a bit too young to be called. We call them motives, isn't it?
Oh, okay, cool. I was here thinking,
no, in
but,
Zim, that's what they call them. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So we had shubs, but I was always curious. I was like, I want to go to these one of these days. Like, how did these people my age are able to go to? How is it that they're able to go to these events? And in my head, I know that I could not leave the house past
I
a
won't
certain
even bother
time.
asking my mum because I know, when people are like, "Oh, come to the motive," and I'm like, "Oh, my mum said no." I didn't even bother asking her because I just knew.
Yeah, you already know.
I just knew.
So, so it was never in my forefront at all. I'd say when it now then came to things like alcohol and stuff like. Firstly, I didn't know what it tasted like. I'd smelt it off like people's breaths, and I was like, instant, I don't even like this thing. So I feel like it was easier for me to just delete that.
Okay.
Then the smell of cigarettes.
I can't stand the smell.
And then what they teach you in school, instantly I was so locked in because I was like, oh my God, this is even better because I don't want any of this stuff. So I'm not even going to look in that direction at all.
That's so funny.
So I feel like it was easier for me to just cross
Just
a lot of
tick
these
things
things
off the list. Okay.
The one that I feel like I tapped into was probably like the going out. But then I now realized so quickly that I don't even like going out because I was at home for so and I enjoyed being at home. So I was like, okay, cool.
So, yeah,
it was kind of pointless.
I love how you're just like going out, smoking, drinking. What about going out in terms of relationships with girls and stuff? How did you navigate that being so prominent in church?
That was okay. So for me, it was hard.
Okay.
Because I was like,
What are you about to say?
Back then, I used to think, am I even allowed to like someone? Like it was so interesting.
I can
I'd say,
empathize.
it was like, I don't know, maybe I'm really sinning by thinking that I think I like this person.
Having feelings.
But it was not a thing of going to like certain outreaches, like especially the youth churches. They're teaching you more about these things and because obviously you're not gonna learn all this stuff from home because at home they're already like, don't bring anyone to this house. No. But like in church and stuff, like they're like, yeah, it's cool for you to like someone and want to have a relationship with them, but understand what's right and what's wrong when it comes to these certain things. So with going with that mindset, like I said, when I'm in church, I'm here like
locked in.
I'm like, okay, yes, pastor.
Yes.
But it was like with that understanding, when I now then started, for example, liking someone and stuff, I was still not very cautious.
Okay.
Because in my head was, if I go out with someone, that's it. That's
Locked
marriage
in for life.
There's no, you know what I'm trying to say?
No
So
situationships, no.
yeah, so in my head, I was
in.
already like, if I go into this, so, it's the end, like till marriage and kids and stuff. But so it took me longer to kind of get into that stage and be in a relationship and stuff like that. And thankfully, I wouldn't say distracted, but I was already doing stuff. So like, for example, if it was to do with dance, if it was to do with dance. But yeah, I was already kind of locked in with other stuff, so it kind of
It didn't.
my mind wasn't there. Yeah, it
It
wasn't
didn't
like
come out like.
let me go and be, searching. No,
You
I
know when
was
people
already
grow up in strict houses and then first day of uni hits and
yeah.
it wasn't like that.
No.
What would you say is the biggest difference with your mindset? Um, not necessarily Christian, but maybe the church and the traditions and maybe the rules you followed. What's the difference between Dlonze back then and Dlonze right now at 25?
So I'd say that my mindset was kind of picked for me back then. So it was whatever my mum said, that's how it is. Whatever my pastor said, that's what it was. Whatever like other teens within my church would say, that's what it was.
Yeah.
But growing up now, I've realized that it's more yes, most of those things, but those are based off their journey.
Yeah.
And you learn from other people's journeys, of course, but at the same time, you also need to learn from your own journey and find your own relationship with God. And that was like the thing that really opened my eyes, because I was like, oh my God, okay, cool. I actually kind of have control in kind of dictating
where things go,
yeah,
where things happen.
So
I love
that was what the...
That must have been an epiphany, realizing just waking up, I'm going to have ice cream for breakfast today.
Literally. Fun fact, it was my friend that opened my own brain. Shout out to my friend. He was like, oh, because, I'm still in the same church, Christ Embassy. We've been...
shout out to the church.
Christ Embassy.
See you Sunday.
I'm still in the same church that I've been since I was born. So my friend actually went to uni, and obviously that branch wasn't in his uni yet. And he went to that church, and I was like, bro, how is it? Like, how is it going to... What's it like? And I was like, what is this feeling like? And he was like, he actually connected.
Okay.
Like, he had to dabble into different churches to kind of figure out like which
one's for him.
Yeah. But he now then realized it wasn't necessarily about the specific church that you go to that will now then enhance your Christianity. It's more so your relationship with God throughout your journey within whatever you're doing. And when he said that, I was like, oh my God, wow, mind blowing, literally. So so it happened quite recent, I guess.
Oh, that's amazing. And how would you describe your relationship with God now?
I feel like it's great.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh, yeah. I feel like it's great. I mean, if it wasn't for him, a lot of things would not have happened in life. And I'm always thankful. It can be stronger, of course. But then there's also a thing of, I wouldn't say it's bad. There's no way of trying to find balance in the worldly things. But it's more so in a sense of being able to navigate yourself as a Christian within an industry that might be more worldly than it is, religious and stuff like that. So, yeah.
I think you summed it up perfectly. I'm assuming in church, you was the one that was always on stage, always dancing, always being asked to perform. What was that like, being the renowned church performer?
Cool. So fun fact, when we came to move to London, obviously my mom already knew the church we were going to. Obviously same church, different branch. As soon as she brought me to children's church, first thing she said to them, my son is a dancer. If you guys have anything, just put him in the... So it was like... Mom. Yeah, thank you.
Thank
but,
you.
I
didn't even get time to introduce her. I found my friendship group.
Literally, it's like...
You're the dancer.
Okay. So with every like church event, they need a dance. And they'll just come and just drop me in the middle and be like, I'll just be doing the...
It's giving finding out you're performing and no one even asked you. You're just in the group chat, Christmas performance, and you're like, oh, what's it?
Instantly, yeah.
Say so.
They don't even ask.
Nah, man.
They've never asked. I mean, now they'd ask, actually.
Yeah.
Because things are different. But back then, it was never, you're doing the Christmas thing. Don't go anywhere for Easter. You're going to play Jesus. so it's literally like, I was always just there. And we had people in church that used to call me the Michael Jackson, the born again Michael Jackson. Um, and I had this hat. My auntie got me this hat. It's that kind of hat, and it had like glitter around it.
Do you have pictures?
Hell no. No, I don't. I'm so happy. There's no pictures, no videos,
No evidence.
no evidence that ever occurred. But yeah,
What again? And he died at that time. Was Michael Jackson alive at that time, or had you?
no. So I was actually tribute. I was tribute, but you know, you two they bless me. So it's like it was a whole different type of
Sorry.
lifestyle. And funny enough, most of the music that was I grew up listening to was obviously gospel, but they were obviously African based. But that didn't register in my head that they were African based. They were just music to me because that's all I listened to.
That's all you knew, right?
Cool. So, but the dance, my dance was not African based. It was more so Chris Brown type of.
Go to Marcus. Go to Marcus. Go
yeah.
to Marcus.
Aiden Davis, you know.
So you was popping and locking on the pulpit.
I was popping and I was locking. If you want to call it that, yeah.
I love that.
It was, we call it bedroom dancing nowadays.
Yeah. Do you know how my bedroom dancing? It's like when like women are in the rain. You know how they. That's my bedroom dance. Or like I'm in a 2000 music video, like Cassie, go Cassie, go, and like Sierra, like,
and then the hips and the chest.
That's the one. That's my bedroom dance.
I feel you. For me, it was whatever Chris Brown was doing in his music videos. I tried to, I'm like, oh my gosh, he did a new trick. I'm gonna try and learn that trick. See all that? Yeah.
I like
that was me. So imagine doing that with things like I know who I am.
Yes.
I'm walking in power. In miracles.
What?
I'm even life a favor.
I love it.
Yeah.
I know who I am.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have banged. That would have been.
Whereas other people would be like, and I'm there like. And,
I live my life.
Make sure I hold the hat like this so it looks like I'm isolating even more. Cool.
So that was your style.
That was my style. But I feel like that's what made me who I am today.
I love that.
Like, if it wasn't for just experimenting in that style, I would not have the skill that I have.
I love
today.
that. It's all part of the puzzle. But talk to me a bit more about like music and how you navigated music, especially as a dancer, and kind of linking it to your career now, because Kaitan and I spoke about this on his episode. Make sure you check that out, where he was speaking about like being exposed to things, because he's only 17. He was exposed to bear. So what was your experience like suddenly being in a world where you're not just dancing to only gospel now? You've got drill, you've got hip hop, you've got Afro beats. It's talking about all sorts of things that you just would not be hearing in church.
It was tough. So thank God for earphones in the house, because there was no way I was ever playing anything out on speakers. So growing up, when you hear, I didn't know a lot of them, what a lot of the stuff meant.
Oh really?
Yeah, there's certain songs I'm like,
when you realize what they're talking about.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa. And I was there like really singing it in front of my mom.
At the top of my lungs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, it's a whoa. I'm like,
Oh.
So it's like,
Mine's milkshake. I thought milkshake brings other boys too.
I genuinely thought it was actual milkshake. Yeah.
That's like fair.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I had to learn. But thankfully, I feel like I'm happy that it was like that growing up, because I didn't know what anything meant.
That's an innocence that you can't, like, once the shield is up, it's up.
Yeah. So I feel like just listening to certain things, I was more so following the flow rather than the lyrics.
Okay.
I was never actually in tune with what they were actually saying. I didn't care. Yeah, it was just, they could have been saying, if they were talking something drill related, they could have been saying, I did something to my man, and da-da-da-da-da. And in my head, it's not actually
You're not confessing murder.
Yeah, I'm not actually thinking that. So I'm just like, yeah, literally. So that's how it was, I guess, transitioning. And I feel like because it was dance that allowed me to kind of open my ears more to other genres. I feel like it was easier for me to kind of block out specific lyrics.
Okay.
And just to what's it called? Just dance on the flow. But then had a sermon where they spoke about music.
Right, that'll do
and
it.
then they were like are you all these things that you guys are singing, listening to all this, do you know what they're actually saying? I want you guys to go and dive deeply into. And then I was like, you know what? Cool. Let me check my playlist. I listened. I was like, oh. So I started filtering what I actually danced to. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm only going to dance to positive things.
Okay.
That was how
That's a
the
good
journey, you know.
Yeah.
Then you start getting invited to things like music videos and doing promos for other people's music. And then I'm now like, oh, I want to be on this music video, so I'm just going to dance for the sake of dance. I'm not really actually going to listen to what they're saying and stuff like that, which wasn't a good mentality considering the fact that I'm like, oh, only positive music, but then I'm out here in negative music videos. And it's like, oh, you're contradicting yourself. But
so you tried to separate the two.
I tried. But then I was growing up, I was like, no, I just need to actually pick what I want to accept and what I want to do. So a lot of the time it started becoming, I feel like that's where my love for Afrohouse actually came into play, because I didn't know what the heck they were saying when they were speaking. Yeah, I didn't know what they were saying in it. So it was just easier for me to just hear the... So it was just instrumentals and just random words for me.
Just put together. So
so it was easier for me to...
It's so interesting that you said that about music videos. Fun fact. Now it's my turn to give fun fact. Last year I was supposed to do...
to me.
No, this is actually tea, because I don't think I've ever told anyone this before. Last year I was supposed to do a Snoop Dogg music video.
Oh.
Yeah, but it got fumbled because we were given the wrong call timesheet. They dancers and production, like basically we were just given the wrong time. We were supposed to come in the morning, but they gave us time to come in the evening, so it didn't happen. Lo and behold, the music video was supposed to be like in a strip club, and it was supposed to be like them type of vibes, and I was like,
okay, cool, wow.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
And like, do you know what I mean? The worst part is all I heard was, oh my gosh, Snoop Dogg music, but like I'm down. And I hadn't really been doing like dancing gigs like that. I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun, a day in the life. I prepared my TikToks. It was gonna be fantastic. Snoop Dogg was in the UK, and I just thought, yeah, the opportunity is lost. But like honestly, I ain't mad. I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
You don't even know what, fam. You don't know what they're just gonna put out there. And your face is just part of it.
It's just there.
Fam,
that won't go well down at the family functions.
There's a music video where I have a similar encounter. I mean, I was in the dance section, obviously, so I didn't know what else was being shot around.
I think that's the worst part, when you don't know what else is going. Yeah, so continue.
Watch the music video now, and I'm like, oh, that's the room where the dancers were not allowed. Because I was only there with my dance partner at the time, where we're just down choreo, people in the background, hey, ooh. Yeah, watch the full music video. Like, Mom, I can't even show you this. Like, yes, I was out for a good time. Like, I was out from 12 to about 10 p.m.
But I cannot account for it.
I can't tell you what. Yeah.
Are you allowed to tell us on That's the T-shirt what the music video was?
Hell no.
Okay.
Oh, but to be fair, actually, I don't actually remember the name of the
fairs.
song. I only know the artist, and that was it.
Okay.
Casey.
Okay. Yeah. We'll leave it at that then.
Yeah. If you know who Casey is.
If you know, you know. If you don't.
But yeah.
Let's actually talk about you dancing in church. Like, were you the confident child that was always like wanting to be up at the front, in the middle, in the center, or were you more introverted?
I was shy, yeah. I was very shy.
It's so interesting. All of you come to my sofa and be talking about, yeah, I was shy. And yet in your bios, I'm reading out brands, performances, battles, competitions, classes. And then you all turn around and sit there and just be like, I'm shy.
I mean, I'm not shy now.
But back then,
I
you've said it. Johnny said it, Nana said it. Or they'd be like, I'm shy. I'm not understanding. 1 + 1 is not equaling
Okay.
2.
So, like I said, it was easier for me because my mom just dropped me. So she was my agent.
I love that. Shout
Let's
out
put
to
it that
Mumsy.
way. She was like, "Yo, my son does this, this, and this. He can do that. He can even do backflip for you." I was like,
Can you actually do backflip?
"No."
Okay.
In her head, a cartwheel was a backflip. Yeah. So she was promoting me, obviously. So it was easier for me to kind of get into those spaces. But in hindsight, I couldn't talk myself into those spaces. I could only just show.
When someone has already told you you're going to be there.
Exactly.
Interesting.
It wasn't until I actually started looking at dance as a serious career until the way I realized I need to put myself out there and, show myself.
Yeah.
As well as, yes, on social media, but also in real life as well.
Yeah.
Because anyone can hide behind social media. Like for me, I could do like 100 takes. No one will ever know. But you just see that one take and you just see me like, yeah. But behind all of that stuff, I was like, I don't really like that take. Oh, no, what I can do, I can probably raise my eyebrows a little bit higher and people will see the... That's not the reason why I raise my eyebrows. It's just a thing. But I was going to ask you about that. I could change my face to just show the confidence.
Okay.
But then behind the scenes, I'm probably not as confident. So for me, I feel like Mitch is introverted, but Dlonze is very confident.
He's that guy.
He is.
It's giving Sasha Fierce.
No, I'm Mitch right now.
Oh, is Mitch on the sofa today?
Dlonze is.
He's on stage.
I can shout out Dlonze. Dlonze is. He's the guy, man. Put him on stage, you be like, oh, Dlonze. Anyways, yeah.
I love that. I think that's the difference between... Sorry, I've just had a real... I don't think I've ever said my full name on the pod. I was about to drop my government name very quickly.
Should I pass you this, man? I know you have one there.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think let's just go with T. I think that's the difference between Miss T Moyo and T. I think T just wants to be at home. I feel like Miss T Moyo comes out regularly and such a regular occurrence. She comes out because she gets the job done and she needs to come out in a lot of spaces. She has to be social, she has to be personable, she has to be around people, she's positive, she's like outgoing, she's talkative. T is those things, but like she's allowed to she doesn't have to be like that all the time.
Yeah.
She could just walk into a room and doesn't have to go and greet everybody. But like it's so weird when I do walk into a room, I'll tell myself, okay, I'm just gonna be not mysterious because that sounds like, but I'm just be like, okay, I'm just gonna be chill.
Yeah.
But then something in me will be itching. I'll see someone by themselves, or there's a song I like, and I'm like, oh, she's coming out today. Yeah. Or suddenly the realization of if I don't show my personality, I might miss an opportunity. And then I'm like, oh, she gotta come out today. She's coming 100%. Out. But I hear it. So when is Mitch the driver's seat, and when is Dlonze the driver's seat?
Oof. Mitch is Mitch with his friends.
Okay.
They could, that's me.
Shout out to the friends. They're in the studio today.
That's when I'm with family and friends. That's like me. Like, I'm Mitch now as well. Obviously, more chilled, relaxed, more at home. Yeah. That's me. If they have to come to my house if they want to.
Every time I FaceTime one of you, you are always at this man's house. I'm thinking, dang.
But in terms of Dlonze, I feel like that's when I'm teaching, I'm Dlonze. Oh, yeah. When I'm performing, I'm Dlonze.
Yeah.
That's where the gang
you know the jump that you do before you get into a dance routine. That's what igniting.
I'd say, and when I'm in like social events, that's where obviously I have to be my brand. Like I have to sell my brand.
Yeah.
And it's very important to kind of not be the loudest in the room, but be seen in that room full of other creatives and other artists. So, and I feel like it's a good thing because when I go into certain places, for example, if I was to do a performance, yes, there will be other dancers in the room as well as the artists and the management and camera crew and all that stuff. But as a dancer, sometimes they don't even bother looking at you.
Really?
Yeah. So I've had to learn how to step into the room and like they want to kind of know like,
Like who's the
like what,
dancers?
yeah, do you know what I'm trying
What
to
do you
say?
do?
What
Yeah.
do you, that's the question. Like, oh, what do you do? I'm like, oh, I'm one of the dancers. Oh, really? You're one of the dancers? Oh, I'm like, yeah, what did you think I was? Oh, I thought you were with the artists doing it. I'm like, no.
The entourage.
I'm like, no, I'm here to dance. Oh, really? Ah, what kind of dance? I'm like, we're in and you know, Afro, innit? We're here for an African artist.
Here to do
So,
ballet.
as in, but it's like your presence is already drawing people towards you so that they want to have conversations with you and things like that. And more time they're like, what's your contact? I want to
reach
like,
out to
do you know what I'm trying to say? And
I
that's
like
the
that.
sort of presence you want to have as an artist. You want to be approachable.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want people to see you in a room and be like, I don't really want to chat to this person. Who does this person think they are? Or I beg. That person's nothing. You don't want to be there as an artist. So.
I hear that. How do you find as someone who's like more naturally introverted? How do you find? Is there a thing where you have to psych yourself up and be like, time to socialize and get into it, or do you just switch it on and be like, it's game time, let's get on with it?
It's mad because the first one is hard to do. Like it's actually easier said than done because when you psych yourself up, it's you still don't reach your fullest potential in the sense of how you can be. Like you might be in a room and be like, okay, cool, I need to network with everyone in the room and and when you enter the room you're like like it happens
all the time.
The time. So it's a matter of, I guess, training yourself to kind of be that person. So putting yourself in those, I guess, public spaces more often for you to train those skills. Like you won't get it the first time.
Yeah.
Like I've been to shoots where I'm like, oh yeah, I need to make sure I chat to everyone. I need to know who the director is, who the AD is, who the manager is, who, like, do you know what I'm trying to say? But I'll come into the room and I'll just be in the dancer corner and I'll just be looking around, just be like, who wants water? But
when they don't bring you water, it's okay.
It's okay. So I'm around.
I don't need to drink.
But it's now a thing of putting yourself in certain spaces where you're just learning on the job.
Yeah.
You know, and be like, okay, cool, I didn't do this time. Take a note of it. Next time
apply this.
Exactly that.
Sounds like you're constantly learning and you're constantly bettering yourself, which is amazing.
Yeah, and there's still so much more learning to go.
I love that. Let's talk about that dance journey. But just before, you posted a TikTok which I thought was hilarious. You know the trend when you accidentally turn the camera around.
Yeah.
What had you put for the caption?
I personally feel like dancers need to be paid more for all the hard work that they do. That's what I put in the caption.
Okay.
And the reason why I put that is because I believe that's true.
Okay.
And I believe that a lot of people also will agree with me. I mean, a lot of people, after I posted that, I was like, I agree. Repost. I was like, hi, all of you are alive. No one wants to speak up. So I feel like that trend was a cheeky way to speak up.
Okay.
Because I saw other people do it with other, things. Some people are doing it with dogs, where the dog is speaking, saying, "Oh, I think my owner needs to take me on walks more." and then you flip and you see a dog, and it's like, "Oh, that's kind of funny." I was like, so I was like, "Let me say something real."
Yeah.
Something that's obviously been on my heart, and been on a lot of people's hearts, and use this trend to say the truth.
Put it out there. Well, this is about spilling the tea and saying things candidly. Why do you think dancers don't get paid enough?
Because we sweat a lot.
You smell.
Not me, please. Remember perfume to...
Oh, sorry. Dlonze.
What's it called? I feel like we put in a lot of... Like, there's a lot of behind the scenes that goes into just being a dancer in the first place. And the amount of training that you have to do before you can say that, okay, cool, I'm fit for a specific job. Like, it's a lot. One. Two, I'd say the amount of sweating. No, I'm gonna stick to sweating for now. The amount of sweating that we have to do before we actually go on stage or go on into the shoot and actually execute what you want us to execute. Yeah. It's a lot. Like we spend hours, perfecting something that could only be for like 3 minutes, maybe. And then it's like, then go and you do it, and then like, oh, okay, yeah, just small change, and it's like,
do you know?
bro, those hours I could have been doing. Like, imagine a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. Okay. Cool. A 9 to 5, you're working your ass off, just typing. Hello, doing so many different things, and then you get paid a good amount at the end of the month.
Because it's for the time you put in and the hours.
Dancing, if you're bro, before you teach a class, you have to choreograph. You know what I'm trying to say? If say it's based on choreography, if say it's based off dance techniques and stuff, you actually need to fine tune those dance techniques so you're able to teach it to someone else. It takes hours of prep before we actually now then teach it, and we have to now then learn how to teach something that it took us probably 7 hours to do, to now then do it in like a space of an hour and a half, for some even an hour, maybe 2 hours and stuff like that. So it's now all that hard work to now then say, oh, just hold quick change.
Chicken change. Do you know what my theory is? I'm laughing because Celia and I were talking about this literally yesterday. What frustrates me about dance as a career, for what you get paid, it's a tip of the iceberg career. And I call it that because you see an iceberg, what you see is literally only about 30%. An iceberg is 70% underwater. Yeah, exactly. I class it for sports, especially something like athletics or running, because hours of training and you run for 30 seconds. Like, that's absolutely infuriating. And I feel like the difference between like a 9 to 5 and like something like dance is a 9 to 5, like, I'm not just being paid for the result and the project. I'm being paid for the hours that's being put into it. I feel like dancing only pays for what goes on stage.
100%.
It stops and starts there.
100%.
Which, I'm not going to lie, until someone does something about that, it's you have to be in love with it. This is why I keep thinking, you have to love this thing so much for you to put yourself through that, to wake up to go to training. After a long day of work, and now you have to go and check. You only have to love it.
A lot of us started this dancing literally for passion.
Yeah.
You know, and we didn't necessarily think it was gonna be our career. We just thought, just for the vibes, just for, the experience as well. But we know that in the long run, we're soon gonna be doctors, lawyers, engineers, bankers. But from the passion, we now then realized, wait, we're putting in a lot of work. So instead of us trying to put in all this work and basically get nothing for it, why don't we try and turn this into a business? So that's where we now then start learning how to change being just dancing for the passion and making an actual career
out of it.
It's been a journey. Still a journey.
Still going. It's a marathon.
But it's learning how to look at yourself as a brand.
Okay.
Not everyone does that. Not every dancer. A lot of people will just look at themselves as a piece of a pawn. In the like whole industry, but sometimes you have to respect yourself and know your worth, and understand that in order for you to strive and succeed and actually earn from this, you need to look at yourself as Nike.
Okay.
You need to look at yourself as what was the one that I heard earlier on? Tesla. You need to look at yourself as like merch. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Right.
Like, how would you put out merch? Are you just gonna be like, oh, I want to go and make shirts? I'm gonna just slap something on it. Oh yeah, this is my shirt. No, you're not gonna do
shade,
that.
By the way.
No, but literally no one does that.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of planning process that people do.
Absolutely.
When it comes to making merch, you need to find the right what's it called? Is it a manufacturer for your?
That's it.
So that's the same thing with dance. You need to find the right class that's going to help you grow, you know. Then what is it? You now then need to find the right design. So that's where you now then find your style. You need you now then find your niche, what makes you you. And then you need to now then, obviously there's more steps, but I'm just going to fast forward.
Yeah.
You now then need
summary.
now they need to start selling this. So that's where your networking comes into play.
Your marketing. Should we write a book?
Pardon?
Shall we write a book?
We should.
We should write a book.
Yeah.
I think we should.
Yeah, the Miss T, Dlonze. Yeah, cool.
X, we'll work on the name.
Yeah,
I think I'm really good at names.
That's that's the Dlonze. No, completely removing. No. Okay, cool. Now I'm playing.
But take us back to the beginning. How did you even get into dance in the first place?
Oh, that's a funny story.
We love funny stories.
I was in college, and fun fact.
Another one. I love these fun facts. Yay.
I wasn't studying dance in college. I was studying forensic science.
Like Barry Allen in Flash.
Yeah, that's so funny. It was part of Flash. Okay, cool. Anyway, because I was gonna go into psychology, but I was like, I kind of like what Flash. Anyways,
Wait, Barry Allen was your inspiration?
a little bit.
Nah, I hear that. I'm not gonna lie. What he does is so cool.
A little bit.
Shout out to CW.
But yeah, well, cool. So, obviously, just in college, science, everything, you know. And then my friend, we used to call each other cousins, just so that, you know, because people knew we're always together. So, like, yeah, we're cousins. He was like, there's this Afrobeats dance. Sorry, I hate the word Afrobeats dance class. But Afrobeats, because Afrobeats is the genre of music.
Oh.
You know.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
What's the equivalent of saying Afrobeats dance class? That's like saying.
God damn.
But then you could just say hip hop dance class. That's the same thing, no?
Yeah. Do you say R&B dance class?
Yeah.
What's the style that you're learning in the R&B dance class?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like dance hall dance class.
Okay. I'm not okay. I'm not gonna, you know. But for me, Afro, you know, there's so many, you know.
Okay, can you say Afro dance class?
For now, yeah, I guess. Yeah, just for the, you know.
For the sake of the story.
Yeah, just so that everyone understands.
For the listeners at home.
Yeah, because it wasn't style specific.
Oh, okay.
It was just Afro.
All right.
Essentially. So obviously, he was like, "Oh yeah, there's a class going on in college. Let's go." Like, I was like, "No, because I don't do all of that stuff. Like, dead."
Sounds like someone I know.
So what? You know, like, oh please, because I don't want to go home by myself. I was like, okay, cool. I'll just pass through, and I'll just watch. I entered the class. As soon as I stepped foot in, I was like, I can do this, man. This is light work. I went with all my bedroom dancing mindset. I went in there, and then the teacher Leslie Reflections, she was teaching at the time, and she was going through like a piece of choreography, and in my head I had it on lock.
Just like that.
I was like, yeah, this is like, I don't even need to come to this class. This is for you lot. I in my head I was cocky. This is Dlonze was in my. The brand hasn't come yet. Dlonze was.
I could just hear him in your head, but on the outside.
On the outside, I'm just like, hi guys. Oh, no, I'm just gonna sit down. But cool. Then over time, I started just going because it was something to do, and obviously I love dance, and I wasn't in tune with dance apart from the times when I was at church. But at church, we weren't dancing all the time, only for like specific events. So what now then happened is they invited a teacher called Uncle TC. So he's one half of Homebros. They invited him to our college to just teach. And I was like, his choreography is a bit different, but I can pattern this. This is, light work. I was like, in fact, I'm going to stand at the front. I'm going to be next to him whilst he's doing the... Thankfully, I don't have this video. But there was a video that one of my friends recorded. and I saw how TC did the groove, and I saw how I did the groove, and I was like, yeah, it was
Something's not adding up.
Yeah, it just didn't
Alright.
make sense. It's like you're trying to spray you're trying to spray an what's it called? Trying to spray a reptile with insect bug. It's like it was not working. I was there like and he was like smooth and grooving, and it was not
Just
cute.
give it stop and start.
I was like, this does not make sense.
Okay.
This doesn't look right.
Knocked him down a peg or two.
Yeah, I need to go and get Raid instead. Yeah, so, anyways, cool. So,
Your storytelling is so funny.
after the whole class, he now then said he's teaching on Sundays, and fun fact, still going on till now. So
To this day.
Sundays.
How old were you back then?
17.
Wow. So for the last 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see that?
Yeah. Ooh.
Because I had been calculating from time. 1,
2.
But for the last 8 years,
Yeah.
training, same place, same
Training.
Sunday. What time?
7
Wow.
from 7 p.m.
Till
till whenever they say it's time to go. I'm being black and white. I mean, it could be 9, it could be 9:30. It's just because the vibe is just
the vibe is just vibing.
You know what I'm
when
trying
the
to say?
vibe goes home, then we go home. Wow.
Literally. Some
love
people even people that I'm only gonna be here for an hour and a half, then I need to rush in because I have work tomorrow. You're there at the end with us at 9:30, sweating.
And the lights are off and everything. Yeah.
But so from that, he was like, he was promoting his class to everyone, and it was like £5. All of us looked left, we're looking at it like, £5 to dance? Are you crazy?
Do you know how much dance classes are now? You're lucky if you even get a tenner for a class. These men are charging £13.
Yeah.
50 great British pounds.
But cost of living, man. You have to, if everything's
you
up
got,
and you
yeah,
have
you
to
gotta
up it
make
as
your
well.
money. Wow. What I would do to go to class for £5. You see me at every class.
Yeah.
For £5.
Yeah, back then it wasn't. But then again, how much did you love dance then as well? That's what it was for me. I love it, but like to spend money? Like I'm okay. Like man can
I'll
do
wait
my
outside and listen to the music. Okay, if I step to the left.
So I was like, yeah, forget that. So after that, it was now then like summertime. I was like, oh, I wanna be more involved within like the Afro industry. I wanna be on stage with some of these dancers as well. So I'm like, I need to find a way. And in my head, I thought obviously social media was the only way. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch everyone that's on social media, and I'm gonna see like what they do and try imitate that and put it on social media.
Who were some of your inspirations that you were watching?
Back then, so we had. Let me move the mic away so that then. Cool. So we had people of the likes of Johnny, Richie. So it's crazy because I mean, of course, I'll tell my friends. They already know the stuff. That's why it's just like. But yeah, I used to watch them back in the day.
Is that not weird to you, watching the people that you now work with?
It's a blessing.
Love that.
Full circle moment.
Yeah, it is.
Full circle moment.
How poetic.
So yeah, big ups them, man.
Make sure you watch their episodes as well.
On
big screening. Movie night at Dlonze's. So continue.
People likes of Elton.
Yeah.
So Happy Feet. Also, who else did I used to? Homebros, of course. Then we had a crew called Afro UK TV at the time. And then also another crew called Strictly Vim. So those, like, I was stalking all their pages. Well, okay, not stalking, but I was on their page. No, trust me. Because back then, I wasn't on my phone too tough, innit? Like, mom would be like, oh, move your face from that screen. So it was like here and there.
Yeah. He was following.
But I was
Inspired.
following 100%,
Yeah.
100% inspired. And they did challenges a lot of the times. So when I see stuff on the likes of NWE and Chop Daily, I'll be like, oh, I want to do my own version. Like, I want to go outside, and so I'll try to find someone to film me and stuff. But it never happened. It was all up here. So there was now then a time when I went to an event, and so a promoter was on the street, and I was like, oh, there's an Afrobeat event happening.
That wasn't dodgy to you.
Well, it didn't come to me. It went to my friend.
Oh, okay.
Then my friend called me and be like, yo, are you trying to be part of this Afrobeats event happening in your area? I said, yeah, why not? Like, I'm Afro, yeah. Woo. So, I got involved, and then somehow we're like, I think it was security, but not actually security, because obviously, like, people will just walk past me, and I'm like, oh yeah, you can go through, because in my head you're the artist and you're the dancer, so I not good security, but
Clearly.
basically we're the backstage, people. So me and my friend were at this event, and then I started seeing the faces that I knew. I was like, oh my God, these are all the people that I watch on Instagram.
Oh my gosh, you sound like me at my first Afro Dance Plus. I was like, it looks like my For You page. Oh my goodness. It was so funny. Oh.
So I was literally like, oh my God, this is everyone. I saw them on stage, and I was like, I want to be them, you know? And then at some point they were also like, does anyone here dance? And then my friend literally grabbed me and was like,
He does.
so he played my mom's role.
Oh wow.
Notice I'm never the one.
You're never the one putting yourself in these situations. Someone is just.
So
I love that.
So I went on that stage and did everything that I saw at TC's class. Not class. Well, yes, class. Yeah. But when he did the little cover, and I was like, wow. Boom, boom, and then they were cheering because they're like, oh, security cannot. And it's so funny because I'm very slim, so it was like security.
So funny.
Well, cool. So after that moment, the promoter was like, we're doing this flash mob, you should be involved. Okay, all these dancers that are here, they're going to be involved in the. So I was like, oh, cool. I was so gassed. I was like, Mom, my summer is sorted. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be with these lot. I'm gonna be training. So they invited us to the rehearsal. On my way to the rehearsal, I bumped into someone that looked lost. So I just had a feeling that we might be going the same place. But he came to ask me for like directions. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. I'm actually going here as well. I was like, oh, sick, you did the rehearsal. We're talking, getting to know each other. And we walked past the venue like 3 times. And then eventually, like, oh, wait, let's look at our, what's it called, maps properly. And then like, oh, snap, it's right there. Yeah.
Oh.
Into the studio, so obviously we're late.
How late were you?
I don't remember, but it wasn't a mad thing.
Oh, okay.
Like,
it wasn't
we had enough time to create choreography and also dance with them. But we got there, but people had already started dancing and creating choreo, so it was just us two remaining. So that, oh, you lot just create your own thing, and at the end we'll put it together. I looked at him, he looked at me, and we're like, okay, might as well. I didn't know how he danced, he didn't know how I danced. He was at a higher level than myself, so he knew more stuff. I just had my like isolation stuff, my bedroom dancing in it. So I was like, oh, if we do this, but twist our neck like this, oh yeah, that would be so sick, you know? Yeah. So we had that little moment. Did a little showcase at the end with all the dancers, and this would be sick for the flash mob. We're walking towards the studio, towards the station now, leaving the studio. And they were like, how long have you lot been a duo? We're like,
I don't know this man.
Like, we literally just met 2 hours ago, bro. They were like, rah, that's crazy. Oh, the way you lot dance, we thought you lot were together. I'm like, nah. And then ever since then, we're like, okay, cool. We got to start training together. Clearly, there's something here. So after that, we just started, I guess, going to the same classes. But even before we even started going to class, we went to an event called ADC, Afro Dance competition run by Homebros as well. And ever since we went there, we're like, that £5, yeah, hold that.
Take my list
I
standing
literally
order.
just
Weekly.
literally. So ever since then, it was like training back to back to back. He was more connected in terms of knowing other dancers. I didn't know anyone because I'm always home.
I don't leave my house.
So it was now then a thing of him connecting me with all the other dancers that was on my For You page. At the time, it was TL, not For You page.
Sorry, you're really showing your age, but it's all right.
Damn. Cool. So, yeah, there was link-ups during like a 2018 summer period. And that's when I got to see literally my whole TL live in the flesh.
Wow.
I was like, oh my gosh. So I just went into a bubble.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, cool. I'm not going to show myself too much.
Keep it demure.
But they were very welcoming.
That's nice.
And that's where we kind of created a friendship that we have today. And then we were all in home fam, like a couple months later.
Would you look at that?
So it was like...
Who would have thought?
kind of thing. So, but that's mainly because we trained together and our styles were just kind of sharpening each other over time. And I guess from there, just more classes we went, things were just growing and growing. And it was more so a thing of training for like 5 years. Together. Same group. For me anyways, training for 5 years and then realizing that this is a career. Like in my head, it was still, I'm going to be a mental health psychologist.
Who also knows how to dance.
I'm gonna, I'm going to...
Wow, LinkedIn would have a field day with you.
Fam. Like, I can, I can help you. But I can also help you within the dancing area. So,
I love that. That's so funny.
But yeah, so I'll say that's where like the journey kind of started and how I kind of grew. It was more so the amount of training and the amount of dance experience. Within the field of music videos and shows and things like that. Like it was just humbling. And
it's extensive as well.
Yes.
You're just like flashbacks.
But yeah, that's what kind of created the whole idea of allowing this to be a business and learning how to navigate yourself within such a business and industry.
Your partner that you met, do you still dance with him today?
Now we're bedroom dancers.
Okay.
So now, as in like together, if we're dancing, it's in the house.
Okay.
And we don't dance as much together, unfortunately. But that's mainly because sometimes as a dancer, like I can't speak for him necessarily.
Yeah, of course.
But sometimes there's like a drive, and when it doesn't go to the point where you're seeing it as a full-time career, you might just But I wouldn't say.
So you guys actually became a duo? You actually
110%.
officially... Wait, what's the name? Okay, what's the name of the duo?
TXM.
TXM. I love that.
I don't know where our Instagram page is, but we still have YouTube.
We'll find it. We'll share it with you guys.
But yeah, that's literally, it became TXM. And then we just did so many things together over the course of the years. And then I feel like after things of the likes of uni and just life choices, it was now then the thing of, okay, cool. How much do we want this?
Yeah.
So yeah, he still dances. He's still one of the greatest choreographers that I know. But he doesn't dance as much.
Yeah. No, I totally hear that. From what you've said, it sounds like being a dancer, you had to be a hustler. You had to be at every place, every gig, networking, putting yourself out there. What do you think being a dancer back then, a beginner dancer, looked like back then versus what it looks like now?
Oh.
Do you still feel like they have to hustle in the same way?
Yes.
Oh, okay. In what way?
So, even this, back then it was like, okay, cool, you have to do a few things to gain experience and stuff like that. But now, it's still the same damn thing. You still gotta do all those like castings and what's it called? Putting yourself out there for people to kind of need you or
Oh,
want you
really?
type of thing.
Even at this stage now?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. I'm not yet at the stage
Where you
where
just walk in the
I can
room and
just walk
just
in
say,
and
I'm Dlonze.
no,
They're like, I
no.
have the job.
No, not yet. There's still a lot of hard work that goes into it and a lot of marketing.
Okay.
Like a lot of marketing.
Branding yourself.
And also just yeah, it's still part of marketing, but kind of making your brand seen and known and separating it from like every other dancer or every other artist that's out there.
Yeah.
So I'd say the hustle is the same.
The hustle's the same.
It doesn't change.
What would you say separates you from other dancers, the regular schmegula lot? No,
Oh, what?
you guys
These
are great
men?
though.
What? These...
Hey,
no, I'm
my
playing. I'd say
It's
what's...
scary that they've got headphones on. But yeah, what do you think separates you and makes you unique as a dancer?
Okay. Phew. I should have prepped myself
Oh
for this
no,
one.
because before we started the pod, you said I prepared, I've prepped. I got it on camera. In preparation that now.
No, I'm playing.
No, I'm
So
joking.
what separates me, I feel like, is character. Obviously everyone has character in a sense, but it's like my character is me. Like there's no one that will be able to portray the exact same character and same kind of like facials as myself. And I feel like I'm able to also adapt. I feel like I have various characters that I can dabble into if need be for specific roles. And also, I guess, being versatile
Yeah.
within modern African dance styles, I'd say, and also being versatile in terms of like other styles as well, not to the fullest, but having it as like a background.
In your
This is
back
why I say
pocket, ready to pull it out.
This is why I said the bedroom dancing had a massive part of, because if it wasn't for me doing, all of that jazz, I wouldn't be able to kind of separate myself in that sense. Because that helps me, I guess, be a better freestyler.
Yeah.
And my freestyling, I'd say, is quite unique compared to some other people. So yeah, I guess that's what probably helped me stand out more.
I think you perfectly answered that question. And I guess my next question is there a skill or technique that when you started off was like, it's a bit shaky, but now you're feeling like, yeah, I got this, man.
So I wasn't in tune with like the style that I teach now, which is style that I teach now, which is Naija Fusion.
Okay. Oh, we'll talk about that as well.
I didn't know anything about Nige back in the day.
Even though you was born there.
Even though I was born there. Yeah. Like I said.
It's a safe space.
Thank you. So I didn't know much about Nige. And then when I started dancing, I started with Azonto. Because my mentors were teaching me Azonto. And then in the UK, there weren't a lot of teachers that were teaching Nige.
Okay.
So it wasn't until, I guess, 2019-ish. No. Yeah, 2019. Yeah. Because around the period where legwork was becoming a thing, where we had like Poco Lee making legwork what it is now. It was like, I just knew how to do it.
Oh, okay.
That was the thing.
Just
and I was like,
woke up and
why do I know how to do this thing? So like, I wouldn't say, I had it perfectly, but for some reason, I was able to tackle it.
Came naturally.
Yeah. Cool. So from that, I was like, I need to learn more about this.
Okay.
I need to learn more about the culture. I need to understand more my roots and explore it more, because maybe I might be able to, I guess, and bring it here to the UK. So what I now did is, over a bit of lockdown research, I started following people who were more Nigerian based. So I kind of changed my whole feed.
Oh, wow.
And more my research was focused around Nigerian dancers and just understanding why they moved the way they moved and what separated them from other countries. From there, I'd say now the way I dance now is just completely different to how.
But then,
Oh yeah, like
we thank God.
we used to be doing our leg work like that.
Oh,
With our whole hands, palms opened up for everyone to see, and our legs opened up like this. Which there's nothing wrong with it.
If you do it, that's
personally, I love that style because that's where I started. But to now being able to do it to the point where I don't need to rely on my arms to navigate
that
where
you're
my legs need to
Okay.
go. Now it's a thing I can do the leg work and I can
could be
be doing
knitting.
shaku shaku if I want. I could be knitting.
Maybe.
Yeah. I'm just
What do you think your life would have looked like if you had stayed in Nigeria and grew up? Do you think you would have been still a dancer?
110%.
Okay.
I genuinely believe somehow, just somehow, I'll still be dancing.
At the level of what you're doing now?
Probably better.
Oh, interesting.
No, that's a lie, not better. No.
Okay.
The reason why is because I feel like being here shaped me and allowed me to gain various techniques that I don't know. I don't know if I would have been able to gain that same thing back home. Probably, but from what I know as myself now, who I've learnt from and the understanding that I've taken from the teachers and mentors I've had over the course of the years, I wouldn't have had that when
Back
I was
then.
yeah. So I feel like I'd still would have danced back home, but probably not to the level that I'm at now.
With all things considered in the UK dance industry right now, what's your hot take of what the industry is like? And I ask this honestly because I've had dancers who have blown from TikTok. I have dancers who have gone to school and studied dancing. I have dancers that have blown who one day woke up and I asked them, how did you get to where they were? They're like, just vibes. What's your hot take on the UK dance scene? Honest opinion on it.
I genuinely feel like it's been a journey. Like it's been a journey. In general, just like with the UK Afro dance scene, because like you said, you have the people who just woke up and boom, they are celebrities.
Now you're Afro Dance.
You know what I'm trying to say? And then obviously you have the people who studied dance techniques as a whole, not necessarily Afro dance techniques to the fullest, but you have a dance background and you started learning Afro. I feel like you need everyone. You need the people who have gone viral and who continue going viral via social media, mainly because it's helping promote, the style.
Okay.
And we have a lot of those within the UK. We have a lot of dance influencers within the UK that has helped push, the industry.
Yeah.
And then you now then have the people who were taught, the right way for, like in terms of dance techniques and also understanding the styles. And you need those people because they're the ones who, I guess, will teach you the right, the right way. And then you have you need everyone. You need
It's like an ecosystem. It all
'cause
feeds into each other.
if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be
exposure as
If it
popular.
wasn't for them, we wouldn't have the information that we have. So it's best of both worlds.
So you don't feel any type of way when it comes to like opportunities and how they get delegated or how people don't necessarily have to be the best at dancing now to get the biggest opportunities? I only ask because you feel so strongly about how dancers get paid. I'm curious to your opinion on how jobs get allocated.
I wouldn't say I feel some type of way. I feel like how certain people got certain opportunities was, I guess, the right way
Okay.
to a certain extent.
Okay.
Because we have people who they're seen from their exposure and they'll get those jobs.
Okay.
Then you have the people that are seen from their level of ability and they get those jobs. And it's now a matter of, rather than me feeling some type of way about it, I need to learn how to play both roles. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I wouldn't say I genuinely feel some type of way about it. I feel like everyone got there from their hard work.
Okay.
Like even the ones that woke up and went viral, if they didn't post it, they wouldn't have gone viral.
So they had to do something
do
to it. It
something,
wasn't
yeah.
just handed
Do you get what
on
I'm trying to
zero
say?
merit.
Yeah.
The amount of effort put in, it might have come a bit quicker or easier,
Yeah.
but they still had
But
to put
it's
themselves
still
out there.
110%.
I like that outlook.
But obviously, one thing I'll always say is, regardless of whatever, wherever you are, as dancers, we're always still training.
Yeah.
So even if you just woke up and poof, you got it, you still have to train to be the better version of yourself. So I'd say that, I guess everyone just kind of needs that in general.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I hear that. And going on and speaking about your dance career, when would you say things turned around and you were like, yep, I've gone clear. I done did the thing.
Ooh, I ain't gone clear yet.
You don't think so?
I've gone somewhere.
Okay.
I've gone to Europe.
That's been great. That's been nice.
Cool.
So you haven't had a moment where you're just like, yep, I made it. It might not be the ultimate, but like you haven't had a moment when you're just like, yeah.
I've had a wake-up call.
Okay, tell me about the wake-up call.
2022, I think. I could be wrong.
What did the call say when
it was like, hello, man. You need to make sure you train so that you can, start teaching other people the things that, you learn.
The way I'd put down the phone so fast. You know what you mean? I need to train. Nope. But yeah, tell me about that.
Well, it's more so a thing of experiencing life outside of the UK.
Okay.
I feel like that, like as dancers, as creatives, you have to travel to experience life outside of where you're comfortable.
Okay.
And the moment I did that, everything
Things
changed.
turned around.
Literally, in terms of my understanding, my choices, my visions, like traveling just changed everything. And then it gave me like a drive. And obviously I gained more supporters from traveling as well. So I feel like I didn't make it, but I was exposed to like more people.
I love that. So you've traveled to all these countries and you told me earlier that you compete. You've traveled to all these countries and you said to me that you've competed in all these competitions. Like,
Yes,
what did that experience tell you about yourself in the dance industry?
It let me know that. That's a great question. Actually, let me actually
Ponder on it for a second. Good, so I can read what's coming up next.
Okay, it allowed me to understand that there's not just one lane within dance. Like at some point, everyone was following the same lane. Whereas like I post on social media, I get a bit of clout. I teach a class. After the class, what's next? I carry on posting on social media. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So when I was open to that idea of being able to travel and take part in certain competitions, it was like hey, fuel. I'm fresh. It was like adding petrol to the fire.
Did you say fuel?
Fuel, yeah. It was like adding petrol to the fire.
Okay.
Like literally, because obviously you have a specific amount of fire burning in you when your passion's at its high. But like traveling and taking part in competitions was like, oof, I love this even more. Like I want to do more of this. I even want to share how I got to this stage. I want to, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So that was what that did for me.
Yeah.
In that sense.
I love that.
But yeah, I think that's the main thing.
Okay, so we're going to have to backtrack a little bit because there's something that I definitely want to talk about that I feel like we missed out, which is talking about like your accolades and your highlights. Which year do you feel like, did the thing? And take me through what that year looked like.
Beginning of 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot was happening. A lot of like more opportunities. I feel like that was the year I first ever attempted to teach.
Oh, wow.
Someone gave that day told me to cover their class. But for me back then, that was a big thing because it was like, I used to take this class. So it's
And now
like,
you want me to
now
lead
you want me
it?
to lead. That's crazy. So it was a great opportunity. That's in terms of teaching. Then in terms of opportunities, I would say like there was a lot more money opportunities, and it wasn't based off teaching. It was based off performing and like doing shoots and things like that.
Oh. Funny the vibe right now.
You know, I mean, it was better than what I was getting before, so we're happy.
A win is a win.
Yeah. And then I think lastly was growth in social media.
Yeah.
Like that was like where things went shoo.
Shoo.
Because I was from the beginning of 2019 up until the end active. There was like non-stop almost every day. So yeah, I'll say that was what was happening in 2019.
No, that's incredible. And so take me through 2019. So you've got 2020, 2021, 22, 23, and 24 now. Was it a continuous upwards trajectory?
No. We had waves. Then we had like a steep, like straight down. And it was so funny because it happened in 2020.
Lockdown era.
Exactly that.
Oh, so lockdown for you wasn't a great period of time.
No. So 2019, I went into university.
Wait,
like
you went
end
to
of
university in 2019?
Yeah.
How old were you when you went?
20. So I
Oh,
went
so
later
you didn't-
because of dance, because things were pampana, you know, pampana, and because things were just skyrocketing, like from like 2018 to 2019. I took a gap year, or I took more than a gap year.
I was going to say the masters. That's just giving. I took gap years.
But it's like it was looking like a career.
Oh, so at the time, okay, sorry, just so that I'm clarified, I don't even know if that's a word. Just for clarification,
Yeah.
English. Dance was doing so well that you didn't feel it was necessary to go to university.
Just yet.
Yeah.
I
So the
knew
plan was to always go.
My mom, my uncle, they were like, "Hey, you better go to university." But it was the thing of I knew I was always gonna go.
Okay.
Because I feel like it's good being a dancer,
Mm-hmm.
but taking what my mom always tells me is in everything that you do, you want to be an educated version
Okay.
of that. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Like the way you maneuver in terms of the business as a whole, and just understanding life as a whole. And sometimes you just have to be educated to be able to
Do those things.
do those things better.
I think our moms would be friends, you know. Because my mom told me that. I said in Johnny's episode, I was like, my mom's like, if you're going to be a presenter, you better be a qualified one. What qualifications can you get? And I chose journalism. I even have class after shooting today. I've got class. I love that. Shout out to mums. You said if you're going to dance, you better be an educated dancer.
Yeah.
So you did go to uni.
Yeah.
Where did you go and what did you study?
I didn't study dance. I went to uni in Kent, Canterbury, Christchurch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I studied what did I study in that place again? Public relation and media.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it aligns with what you do because obviously you got to have good PR training for stuff like the pod, media, because you're on social media.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
Initially, I was gonna do mental health psychology.
This mental health psychology.
Yeah, I mean, God, that's all I wanted to do. Funny enough, when I was younger, like I don't know, I was just drawn to it from early, and I went to Northampton at a time to study it, and then I was like, yo. There's a lot of reading. I'm not seeing the room to actually dance here.
Double it and give it to the next person.
Literally, so
actually hear that.
I kind of changed that whole pathway, and I went into something. I had to research though what would make sense. So, and I researched, and I saw that PR and media was like,
That's the conclusion.
you know, could have done marketing,
Could have.
but then again, they still kind of flow in the same kind of industry. So.
Oh my goodness, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So you ended up going to uni 2019. When did you graduate? Which year?
Fun fact, I actually haven't graduated.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is there a particular reason for that or?
Yes, but that one I can't disclose.
Oh, that's okay. That's
Yeah,
fine.
that one I can't. But
Will
what's it
you
called?
graduate in the future
Oh
or?
hell yeah.
Oh,
Oh
congratulate the
oh
graduate.
the hard work now
All
come on
that
now then.
and the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
to summarize, dancing was popping,
Yeah.
took a gap year, wanting to get your education, and then what happened after that?
So during like the whole lockdown period, I thought, yeah, I still, I can still dance here and there, but there's nothing to do.
Okay.
There's no work. Nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Everyone's just looking at their phones like this.
I watched the
So
whole Marvel series.
that's crazy. That's a long. Okay. So what I did is I tried to take classes. Pardon me. I tried to take classes online. I actually taught classes online as well,
Oh, really?
but I wasn't dancing like I wasn't consistent the way I was in 2019,
Okay.
where I was just like posting. I didn't find the time to. I didn't have the motivation. I didn't have the drive to kind of keep that fire burning. And then I don't know in it but in my head, my supporters were just going downhill.
Oh, like are you talking about followers on social media?
Social media followers, yeah. So it was like, it's not going well for me. Like I was at the time, I was social media orientated in terms of my dance, because of how much work I put in, like in space of 2018 to 2019. I was like, nah, I'm doing so well, and then just watching like your page just go downhill.
Seeing posted 6 weeks ago, you're just like,
Yeah, it was
Lord
like,
have mercy.
yeah, it was really tough.
Yeah.
Thankfully, obviously, I had friends who were still on social media and still finding ways to motivate, or still finding ways to motivate each other. And then, but that period was kind of dark. Like, regardless of what anyone said, I was just like, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered. Like, it's not gonna do anything. Like, I'll post and it will be like it'll have such low engagement. I'll be like, oh, it's not even worth it. All of that
What's the
stuff.
point?
But that was such a silly mentality at the time. Coming out of lockdown, I was like, listen, I have to, I gotta do something here.
Yeah.
So I just said, I'm just gonna go back on the same hustle I had, but take a different lane. What I'm gonna do is I'm still gonna be posting when I can, but I'm gonna post according to what I want people to see in terms of my dance. Because back then I used to do take pictures as well and post just dance. What I call it, concept videos. We call it concept videos.
When you say take pictures, what do you mean? Like modeling?
Yeah.
You used to model. Do you have pictures? I feel like I could have seen you on Hollister, Abercrombie.
Lista. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I love that.
Do you know what? Okay. I did. It was a period of time, but dance overtook. So at the time, it was like, these are two things that I'm striving in, but dance just overtook. And then it needed me more.
Yeah.
In terms of my availability, and so I was like, I'm just gonna stay in that lane. But then, to be fair, it kind of did a full circle moment where most dancers model now.
I know, we saw you. Was it the Guap Gala last year when you and Johnny were together in your silver outfits? I remember that. That one made the GC. We saw. We liked it. It was that.
We do well.
Yeah,
We're not a
y'all
dog.
clean up nice. No, that's amazing.
It was dope.
And like, what would you say got you out of that low period and that funk that you were in, that lockdown low?
It was learning that social media isn't like the do or die.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like I said the saying wrong just then, but we'll run with that.
We'll make it a new one.
Yeah. But yeah, it wasn't like the final straw in terms of just career-wise. Like, it's not it shouldn't be my only focus.
Absolutely.
Yes, it was bringing in income based off certain things like promo and job opportunities, but it wasn't the only thing it wasn't the only lane.
Yeah.
And back then I did think it was, but once I got to that realization that I don't just need social media to kind of do what
You want to do.
I want to do, and I then said, okay, what I need to do is use my social media as as a tool to still, be relevant. But then at the same time, me as a person, me as a brand, I need to be out there, and I need to make sure I'm in the right spaces for me to elevate my dance and also show people why they would need me in those spaces. So I feel like that's where it was like, yeah.
Yeah. We went from and then coming.
Yeah, because for me, the down was more so a mindset thing.
Okay, not an
People,
ability thing.
Yeah, hell no. Oh no, I
still
could
that
still
guy.
shake a leg. Yeah,
Yeah.
during lockdown, the amount of when people were doing, was it leg work, but for how long you can do it, like past a minute, past what? I was clearing 2 minutes. Okay, I had a little bit of a belly, so maybe not 2 minutes, but I was clearing.
Just doing your thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing your timings.
Exactly. Yeah, running all of that. So now, in terms of ability, I was still growing, and that was the period where I was still doing a lot of research. But in terms of engagement, it was going downhill. So mentally, I thought that it was the only thing. So,
But now you know better.
oh yeah, I know so much more.
Did you bring your trophies today?
I brought one.
Can I see it?
I have to go get it.
Yeah, I want to see the trophy.
Okay. That's crazy.
Did you get me some? Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, can I hold it? It's in the shape of a shoe. Oh, this is kind of cool. It says Nike X Aim Collective presents NTL Battle Winner. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the coolest trophy I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's why I picked this one.
Where do you keep it?
On a shelf next to the other stuff.
What? I'm not gonna lie, if you open my bedroom door, this is the first thing you're gonna see. See, this would look great on my...
That's where I probably should have put it in.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I love that. Okay, and show me the medals that you got. You can leave this there. We can show the people.
Okay, cool. No stress. This one, it's the logos here.
Damn.
This says one on there.
Is it real gold?
Go and try. Bites.
I love this. Okay, let me see the others.
This one's from Paris.
What's it actually like? Do you get to stand on a podium and they knight you with
This is not the Olympics.
Okay.
Okay.
A girl can dream. Wow. This is amazing. I love the fact that they actually reward you guys with actual physical reminders of, I did this.
Yeah. And fun fact, these come with trophies.
Oh, wow.
But it was not fitting in my bag.
Oh,
so
sorry. Must be nice. He said they don't fit in my bag.
Not like that.
Just
I brought a small bag. Okay. But yeah, so they came with trophies, but obviously it's just something to reward you as well as like whatever cash you get from it.
Yeah.
It's like well done.
Yeah.
Type thing. And then the trophy is like,
that's a big well done.
It's like oh wow, so we can take pictures, So it's like cute moments. And then some people do more like frames. Yeah.
I love that. And like once you started, winning these competitions, getting all these brand deals, getting more recognition for your social media pages, did you see like more money increase? Like when did the money start coming through in your career as a dancer? If you don't mind me asking.
Where I knew there was actually money was with the brand stuff.
Okay. Like Johnny.
Yeah.
Richie. Okay.
But where I knew that I could have because now I'm full-time dance at the moment. Where I knew that there was there was like a sustainable living from it. It was when I started teaching.
Okay.
But then this is where the hustling comes into play, because like as well as you, I guess, teaching around, you also need to market yourself. That's key. Educate yourself because you're educating other people. And also take care of your body because you're going to be constantly
putting it through. How
A
did
lot.
you educate yourself?
I went back home.
Oh, we went back to
I went back
Nige.
home.
Oh, what was that trip like?
It was great. It was like, the what do they call it? The was it product? Let me not even try it.
It was what?
Let me not.
Wait.
Our son is home.
Oh,
Just,
okay.
yeah.
The prodigal son.
I was gonna say that, but I was gonna say something not English. So I
Oh,
said, let me not come
it's
and
okay.
embarrass myself. I don't want to be like you today. So the
Pow, pow, pow. Just catch the strays.
no. But yeah, it was like, wow, he's home. At first, it was more so for, family orientated for me to be back home. But I was like, but I dance Afro. I'm in Africa. I gotta dabble a little bit. And then obviously, I'd followed a lot of people on social media beforehand. So it was just like we're finally meeting each other in person. So I had so many questions to ask. But fun fact, going back home was just like a reminder and a refresher to let you know that dance doesn't just stop somewhere. There's
Yeah.
still
So much
so
more. to
much
learn.
more. But the actual education came from research and asking people the right names for certain things, the correct way of doing certain things, going to classes, and then actually training myself.
Yeah,
That was like, I feel like that's the biggest.
that was pivotal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I said that's what helped me educate myself in regards to being able to teach.
I love that. And do you want to talk to me about like the legacy that you're building right now? Because I feel like I have to bring you back for another episode to go into more depth about it. Because obviously you've gone from learning, you trained, now you're teaching, traveling around the world, doing it. What kind of legacy are you trying to leave here, or print that you're trying to leave here in the UK?
Down the damn. No, I'm joking. No, for me, I feel like the younger people in the UK that actually start doing Afro, they start just before they're about to become adults.
Yeah.
Literally, like a year before or 2 years before. They might have loved it from young, but they never really thought of it as a career choice. So for me, if there's a way to impact the younger kids from 9 now, so that by the time I'm old, and then I'm my age, it will be like, there'll be loads of kids. I want it to be in schools as well.
Oh yeah. So going to schools and teaching in schools.
That would be a goal.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
All right.
But more so to educate people the right way, because a lot of people in schools know Afro, and they know that it is a style, but they think of it more so in a TikTok and social media perspective.
Okay.
So I've been to schools where I've taught, and they're like, "Oh, I learned that from TikTok."
And they're just like,
And I'm like,
what's
oh,
TikTok
okay,
taught
that's
you to do
crazy.
this?
Me, I learned it from Ambrose. Me, I for Yemi. So it's like TikTok. They weren't even on TikTok showing all this stuff. So who did you learn it? So it's not more so a sense of learning it from like the roots and understanding the history behind it.
Okay.
Same way with other styles, because and another thing, obviously, Afro is just an umbrella to so many other
So many other
styles. You know what I'm trying
things,
to say? So they need to also understand that rather than think, oh, I do Afro, I can do shaku
do this,
shaku
it's
into
just simple and
smash 'em.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear it. So you'd open up your own dance school? Or would you specifically go to schools and teach?
Do you know what's crazy? Okay, cool. Opening up your own dance school is an amazing goal.
Uh-huh. But
It's not one that I have thought of.
okay.
So if it happens, it would happen naturally.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna close that chapter completely.
Okay.
But what I would say is, at the moment, what I have seen is me teaching in other schools to be able to formulate, I guess, a community. I feel like how we all started dancing was based off community. So I'd like to treat it the same way for the younger generation. Give them a community to be able to express and share, as well as also in schools, give them opportunities to learn the styles properly and understand the culture and the community behind it.
I love that. I think that kind of perfectly segues into like my last question of just like, what can we expect from you in the next 5 years in terms of your journey, your work? I'm 100% gonna have to invite you back and we're gonna have to do a reflect and a contrast.
We'll see how.
But yeah, what can we expect from you like in the next 5
That's
years?
crazy. I haven't even thought about next week. Cool. So I would say I should have in the next 5 years. Yeah, I should have been to every country in the world.
Okay.
In the next 5 years.
All right. You better get to the airport like right now.
It's not impossible.
How many countries are there in the world?
I don't know, but it's not impossible. Nah.
It's over like 300 now. There's a lot, bro.
It's not impossible.
Okay.
It's not impossible. But okay, cool. If I'm to be more specific, I'd say maybe the ones, because I'm not going to Antarctica to go and teach polar bears how to do Azonto.
The penguins.
So, or the penguin. But cool. So I'd say more so the countries that already have a dance background, dance influence. I'd like to be able to just be part of that, be part of the journey. My main goal is to teach everyone. That's why I said every country, you get me?
Yeah.
But obviously, if we're to be realistic, we're talking about ones that are where I can be able to share and express dance.
Are you about to say something like you want to marry or something?
No, I'm
this is
about
what
to
he was
say,
about to
it's like, I'm here thinking, because there is something coming up.
Oh.
But it's like, I'm not allowed to say anything. So I have to kind of just shut up.
Okay.
But like, I was about to be like, oh yeah, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But
When can we find out from your personal...
by the grace of God,
Uh-huh.
by the end of next year.
Okay. Okay,
the
we'll invite
grace
you
of
back
God.
the end of next year.
To come and-
to come
so
and
what's that
reveal.
food
So
that you
we'll
said?
even play this clip so that we can add in what the big bad boy news was.
I'm not going to be like, I did Apple.
No, in the name of Jesus,
joking.
it will
It'll happen.
happen.
110%. Amen.
No, I look forward to seeing that.
But for me, teaching,
Yeah.
expanding because I'm a content creator, but more so in like dance visuals kind of aspect. Expand that.
Yeah.
Take it to levels where I'm dancing as a giant and there's buildings around, or in London I just see, as soon as I do leg work, the ground is shaking like this. So to levels like that, but obviously there's other things I need to learn in terms of the edits and filming it the right way. So there's a lot of stuff, so taking visuals to high levels, and then creating that community. That community needs to be here. Like in the next 5 years, there needs to be like a mini Afro Kids somewhere. Like, I mean, in the UK, anyways, because there is in other countries as well. But I feel like the UK, we definitely need the younger generation to tap out of TikTok and tap into the real.
Absolutely. I think that's a perfect way to conclude this episode. Have you enjoyed yourself today?
Yeah, bro, I didn't know time was gone.
No, if I told you how I actually feel about this situation, I'm actually fuming. But don't worry, I feel like this is a good time to invite you back again
100%.
next season to come and continue your story, because we got you guys. We got our first returning member to the That's the Tea show. But before all that, can we please give a round of applause to Dlonze? Oh, guys. Thank you so much for watching the That's the Tea show. Next week is officially our Christmas special. So get your cocoa, get your hot chocolate, and meet us here on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Same time. I'm not going to tell you who Santa left me under the Christmas tree, but you better come back to find out.
I didn't say it.
Guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.